Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another good episode of Basscast Radio. I am your host, Brian Carter. Guys, Thomas and Geek, I know was out fishing, everybody. So he's out and about, heading home. Probably been working on some content for you guys. Hopefully, we get the whole entire team back with us next week. But guys, we got two sticks right here in Central Virginia joined us tonight. Mr. Brody Lucky and Brandon Pritchett are on with us tonight. So thank you guys for coming on the show. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving, everyone. We are going to do about two more shows, and then we will have Christmas. And I think Christmas falls like Wednesday or Thursday this year, I think.
Thursday, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's Thursday. So we'll probably end up taking Christmas off. So, yeah. So we're going to take that off again, and then we'll be back and ready. We'll probably do a show in between, like an end of the year wrap-up show, and then we'll have 2026. But I hope everybody's doing great out there. Couple things, guys. I know me and Brandon talked about it yesterday, and I probably should bring this back up, the reinstate of the angler from South Carolina. If you guys haven't seen the post, we shared that yesterday. Aspen Martin of White, Georgia, has been reinstated for the 2026 Bass Fishing League BFL All-American Championship following new disclosures after he was disqualified from the Lake Murray Regional held October the 10th and 11th. So it's pretty good to hear some shining light, I guess, some fresh light with all the negativity we've heard in 2025 so far. But so he has been reinstated. Full story, guys, is up on the basscast.com. You guys can head over now and check that out. But you guys, hopefully you guys all read it. What were your take on it so far? Brandon, we'll start with you.
Yeah. I was reading about it actually before you put it up, what I saw, like we were talking about, and it seemed like that I think the guy that was in the boat with him was the actual one that was guilty, and he kind of become part of that and had a problem with the stress test or lie detector test, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Because of that, and I think that wrongfully disqualified him. Sure has been a lot of that crap this year, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's probably the second hottest topic in 2026. 25 is lie detector test and forward-facing sonar.
I've taken many of them over the years, and I've never come close to failing one. I don't understand. You know, I don't understand how that's the thing with it's either. Well, we all know you got some people that are going to cheat. I mean, it's just a fact. They catch them all the time. But I'd say the majority just have a problem with maybe understanding the actual rules, maybe. I don't know. And then they're unsure of stuff. The reason why they're failing tests. I'm not sure. You know, like this latest guy in the bass or whatever. I don't think he's guilty. I really don't. But I don't know the guy.
Yeah.
But anybody I've ever talked to that knows him,
he's a straight up dude.
He's straight up guy. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But my whole thing with it is, you know, if you're doing wrong, you're going to fail. You know, that's a guarantee. I mean, unless you're like a psychopath or something. But I don't know. I mean, it's like you said, it's just a hot topic, and I hate to see it for anybody because it can definitely, like we were talking last night. I would hate for me to have a failed test, knowing I did nothing wrong, I just couldn't imagine that. Especially fishing as long as I have, and your name becomes mud overnight
That's true.
and I mean, I've always tried to do it right.
So, for you guys who haven't read it, it says after failing the initial polygraph, Martin turned over text messages from O'Connell showing that O'Connell had requested information about catching fish on tournament waters during tournament hours at the Lake Murray Regional. The message also shows that Martin did not provide the requested information. Based on the disclosure, Martin was granted a second polygraph at his expense that considered the text exchange in which information was requested, but none was provided. No deception was indicated at the second polygraph that was administered by an independent examiner, mutually agreed upon by Major League Fishing and Martin. As such, Martin will be allowed to compete in the 2026 All American, and his $8,530 in winnings from the regional will be restored. He will, however, receive a fine of $500 for failing to report O'Connell's violation. So it's good news for him. BFL
That was
All-American.
that was the second Martin to fail one this year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was wrong, wasn't it? You'll
All right.
edit that.
That Martin failed it many times, though.
I'm about to say
Yeah.
there was one
Yeah.
Martin that failed a little more than the other one, but
Yeah. So that like I said, that's good news for him. We all know the BFL All-American is the large. I mean, that's why everyone fishes the BFLs. I mean, it's not the payout, and I hear that at every event. It's not the payout. It's because you get to go fish for the All-American and take home.
And it's cool. It is really cool. I fished it this year, and that was a cool experience. It really, really was. The whole trip's paid for the most part, other than you got to buy your room and board.
Yeah.
But I mean, they take care of your fuel expenses. They give you travel expenses. Everybody is guaranteed a check if you finish dead last. They gave away like their giveaways, like when you go through a line and fill up your bags.
Right.
Dude, like you literally had to carry it out to the truck with both hands.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, they were giving away like Yeti stuff. I mean, it wasn't like cheap stuff. It was really good stuff. I got a box.
Cooler, right?
Well, it was like a Yeti tumbler cup or whatever, a big one.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then we got a box from Abu Garcia, I believe.
Okay.
Had a reel in it, and the reel I think was valued at like you probably got one of those because they started giving them away at the BFLs too. That's a nice reel, isn't it?
Yeah, every fourth event, I believe it was estimated $100 value somewhere in there. So
yeah,
pretty solid reel.
Yeah, and
you got a free reel.
And then they gave you a spool line, and I think there were some lures and stuff in that same box as well.
Yeah.
But then it was just a lot of other stuff. So basically, all their sponsors that sponsor MLF, they all had something there giving it away.
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool. And another cool thing too that I thought was pretty neat. So I don't drink alcohol, right? So they have a sponsor. I can't think of the name of the beer company, but it's a non-alcoholic beer. And it was pretty cool. So I got one of those too.
I know who. Yeah, they have plenty of cases of that at the Major League Fishing Red Crest in this past year. So yes.
Yeah. It was pretty cool because it was like a IPA type beer, but it was no alcohol, which is pretty cool.
So what was it like fishing that event? We'll hit it on real quick here before we roll on. Because you're fishing against the best of the best in the United States.
And it was so we fished Lake Hamilton in Arkansas. And going into that event, there was, you had some information as far as, what kind of weights it takes there and stuff. But like they fished there in, I believe it was 22. They had an All-American there. And the guy that won, I believe had like 40, high 40 pounds for 3 days, right? He caught a 6-pounder, and that's what separated him from
Oh
everybody.
wow.
And second place was literally like 33 pounds. You do the math, that's 11 pounds a day, right? Dude, it was the weirdest lake I've ever fished in my life. Like you could catch 10 pounds easy. But like to catch a 3 or 4 pounder, it was a unicorn of a
Oh
fish.
wow.
And then to go on top of that, there was several 7 to like almost 11-pound bass weighed in. And basically
wow.
everybody that made the top 10 cut had one of those.
Mm.
It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
So what's this lake full of?
It's weird. It's like a miniature Smith Mountain, so to speak.
Okay.
But it has this one big area off of it that's like super flat and full of grass. And that's where like all the winning fish come out of. And that's where I fished for 2 days. I had one the first day of competition that I tried to flip in the boat because I had a older gentleman that was slow to the net, and he pulled, he fell off, fell back in the water, and that was about a 4-pounder. It was one of those unicorns. And then the second day, I like all day long had a pretty good average. And then right at the end of the day, before I had to go in, I saw one giant dot just out there, swimming around.
Yeah.
I threw over there to it. It went down on it. Thunk, set the hook. And I'm telling you, it was one of those giants. And it just
wow.
pulled off. I mean, it just pulled off. It was crazy. But those I had a couple bites that would have made the top 10 for me. I think I finished 20 something. I can't even remember. Got a decent
Still
check.
good though. It's a whole lot
Yeah.
of anglers fish that thing.
Oh,
That,
yeah.
they qualify for it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, everybody there that was good. I mean, they're no slouches in that tournament whatsoever.
No. All right, let's move over to Brody real quick. Brody, man, you guys have seen him on social media this week. He's hanging out with the team from Angler's Choice. Brandon's got the Angler's Choice hat on. I wish I'd have known. I'd have wore mine, but mine's up in the locker up there, the hat locker we call it. But what's been going on in your world, brother?
Yeah, man, just fishing and fishing. Trying to stay busy, working on sponsorships for next year. I will be fishing the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit. I originally planned to fish the Opens, but my man Brandon here convinced me to fish the Pro Circuit. Just looking at payout, looking at several other different aspects, and it just, at the end of the day, makes more sense in my current position anyway to go to the Pro Circuit. So looking forward to that next year. Going to be traveling all over the place, fishing some Toyotas as well, and BFLs, and then some Elite 70s. So going to be on the road pretty much all year next year. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And
the Angler's Choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna fish a couple of the Angler's Choice events as well. Great payout in those, so I'm looking forward to those as well.
Yeah, it's great to see the new schedule come out for Angler's Choice. We're gonna have some Virginia events, we're gonna have some Bugs Island events, and we're gonna have a few events down in North Carolina as well. So it's gonna be a mix this year. I think what is it, eight events all total, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
It's a great
I believe
schedule.
it's
So if you have
2 at Wiley, 2 at Smith, 2 at Bugs, and 2 at High Rock.
Okay,
Yeah,
I believe how it's laid out.
So there's 8, and then they haven't announced where the championship's going to be yet. I don't think. If I remember correctly.
No, Claytor Lake. Not just joking.
Let's not go there. We don't want to go there.
Nope.
That's no.
Yeah.
If I ever never go back, I mean, it's a great lake. If you want to catch fish and have a great time, yeah. But I mean, I won $50,000 on 10 pounds. I mean, it's not that. It's as bad as my Forestwood Cup event that I went to many years ago, where it was down on the river, and it was like 10 pounds was getting weighed in every day, and I was like, gosh, this is so freaking boring. Can I go home? And I was like, at 10 pounds, because I'm used to coming from Smith Mountain Lake or either Bugs. I mean, even Bugs is, 18 pounds or so a day. I mean, for us, the Bass Cast had a 22-pound bag last week, Chad and Elliot Pilson, and a nice 7-pounder to go with it to secure the win for them. And 19 pounds second, I think 17 was about third. So, I mean, to go to an event where 10 pounds is being weighed in every single day, that's rough. I mean, I know people are used to it, and I know they're used to it on their body of water, but just from where we come from us, I mean, 10 pounds, wake me up and it's over.
Yeah, I was fighting and clawing for 10 pounds in the championship day of the Toyota Series, and I was like, man, I can't wait to get home. I came back, fished a little local lake, popped 30 pounds. I'm like, man, it's so good to be home. Yeah, it can be tough elsewhere. Virginia is a very underrated fishery. I mean, it's pretty impressive what this state has to offer.
Guys, I think I think with what's going on, we talked about some grass coming back in Smith Mountain Lake. We've seen that. I've heard rumors of that, and just with the tiger bass and seeing the 10-pound bass this year, I'm really hoping more of these major league fishing events or either Bassmaster Open be coming back to Smith Mountain Lake in the near future. I mean, the problem is getting somebody to pay for it. I mean, I know.
Right.
I know Franklin County was really happy with the money they spent for their major league fishing event. I know the lady at Bugs Island. Oh gosh, it seems like decades ago now, but it's only been about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. That Bassmaster Open they had down there, I think that was $30,000, and she was extremely happy with that. So it's just getting the towns and counties involved and understanding the economics and what it really brings.
Right.
Our problem, guys, is the Big Bass Tour, because that brings 800 anglers and it brings rooms full and it brings a lot of money to the county. It don't bring the big boys, but the county is just looking for money. They don't really care about the big boys. They want the money. Right. And when Airbnbs are all filled up and restaurants are all filled up and it's 800 anglers here on Smith Mountain Lake for 2 events, you do the math. If each one of them spends $250 a piece while they're here between tackle stores, food, gas, and everything else, that's a lot of dough.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's hard to argue with that. At the end of the day, it's about the money side of it. You can't just say, oh, we want the pros to come. But at the end of the day, the big bass, you're right, is making more money.
They really do. They bring in anglers. And, for you guys that don't know, Smith Mountain Lake was the first lake for Big Bass Tour to come back twice within a season, because we do have the biggest, following. I mean, I used to post stuff on social media. Who's excited to come back from the Big Bass Tour? And we have people from Pennsylvania, West Virginia, even all the way up to New York that would travel down here to fish it.
Yeah. I wish I could it's a great lake for it too.
Yeah.
Really, really, really is.
Yeah, I wish I could fish it if I would, but
now.
Yeah, you can't anymore.
Yeah, ever since I started fishing the Toyotas, I haven't been able to fish any of them. So,
You are a pro. All right, guys. Again, like I said, I want to thank everyone that came out and fished with the basscast.com this year. We had a great turnout. We have not put together a schedule yet for 2026. We're still kind of throwing some ideas around what we would like to do. And we're hopefully we'll have that release here really, really soon. But by the time this goes up, guys, we'll have a cat championship for the Bass Kings. We'll know the winner from that, and then we'll have a regular cat on Smith Mountain Lake. So it's a busy weekend this past weekend on Smith Mountain Lake with that going on. And then December the 13th is the final Bass Cast Tournament Series Championship on Smith Mountain Lake. And then we all get a couple weeks off until we all have to go to shows. And I know Brody will probably be at a bunch of shows this year. And if he's not, he needs to go, because that's where he's going to make his money. Because he's going to have to start going out there and pimping that thing. You know what I'm saying? What's that?
Yeah, I'll be there at the Angler's Choice.
No, you got to go to shows. Big shows.
Shows. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go to big shows. You got to go Bassmaster Classic and Red Crest. You got to go big shows. You have to like step it up, pimp it thing. You know what I'm saying? Not little. You got to go where the money is. You know what I'm saying? you got to step it up.
Yeah. See if I can slide up to a couple of those.
Hey,
You gotta at least
the
make it to the
Classics, Tennessee, dude. I mean, that's close.
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
like I
it's not
said,
far.
like you said, it's 5 hours in Knox Vegas. I mean, find a bedroom, crash on the floor. I mean, I went to my first what was that thing called down there in Florida? ICAST. I slept on an air foam mattress for 3 days when I went to ICAST. So I mean, just get to the classic. Get to the classic, get your outfit on, wear your gear, and walk around, talk to people. And like I said, you gotta make that commitment. They really want to see that next level. They really, really do. And I'll be honest, guys, here at the Basscast, I mean, I probably didn't go the next level until I went to a classic. I mean, I talked and people saw me and knew who I was, but until, you start getting there and putting names of faces and talking to a lot of people, that's when your numbers really start coming in and people say, hey, he's legit. He's done made that investment.
Mhm.
And that's one of them things that you really have to do. So
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. If you really, really want to be in this thing, if you have to collect Coke cans on the side of the road for a year or so and use that money to travel, you have to do what you have to do. But guys, tonight I have them on because they won the Virginia Tournament of Champions up on the James River. If you guys don't know, Brody cashed a lot of checks up there this past year. I know some of that probably didn't help, take home $6,000 at this event, but we thought we'd talk to them today. Like I said, it was a team event. Congratulations to both of them. Um, Brandon had his little championship, his little cup he was holding up a little while ago.
Yeah, you want to see it? I was joking, guys. I was drinking out of it.
But yeah, so it was
That'll be far enough. We're back.
40
Here it is.
boats fished this event. Hopefully more next year. And if I remember correctly, you guys telling me you just had to do really well in an event right here in Central Virginia to qualify. Is that correct?
Yeah, so you had to
You had to
win.
win.
Yeah, to win. Yeah.
In 40 boats or more. So not just some little Joe Schmo tournament. It had to be, a tournament of some size to a degree in order to qualify.
And these guys did it. So let's talk about the event first. It was about the middle of November, and I apologize, this is a little late, everyone. We had the holidays and a few other things going on, but about the middle of November, you guys fished this event. So did you go practice, or did we kind of run off past history? Or did we spend a week up there? Because you guys all know Brody's doing this full time now. So
Yep.
Well, it was
Yeah.
off limits. Yeah,
Okay.
it was off limits. We practiced one day
Yeah.
we had 2 days to practice.
Yeah, we had 2 days to practice, and then unbelievable first day of practice. I was like, I'm not gonna go stick any more fish. Went and fished a tournament on Chick Lake, and we had almost 25 pounds. And me and my buddy Matt McCluskey, and ended up winning that one. So yeah, it was. I mean, practice was so good. I mean, I think I had 21, 22 pounds, and that was like hardly even trying. I mean, it was fishing really well in my zone, and I knew, we had good timing and just got in a good rotation, we'd be good. So I didn't want to stick any more fish. I think that's a lot of the problem for a lot of guys. Is they'll come in and just catch fish after fish after fish in practice and be, oh, I'm on them, But at the end of the day, there's only so many fish that are willing to bite. Like, yeah, you may see 10 on your forward facing, but only 3 of those are actually willing to commit at the time that you pull up, or something along those lines. So, in my opinion, sticking fish is a big mistake in practice, and the fewer fish you can stick, the better off you are.
So, you had a great practice. Usually, great practice ends up in a bad event, but you guys were able to do it. I mean, I'm not going to say, we hear the story all the time here on Basscast Radio. I had an awful practice. I didn't catch anything, and I was able to put things together, and we won the event. But you guys had a great practice and won the event.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brandon, I think you cracked a couple 4-pounders too, the one day of practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I had 17 pounds, and we fished 2 different areas as well. And the second day, which was Saturday, would have been the second day of practice. Actually, Jacob didn't practice either. They ended up second. me and Jacob and his cousin, we all brushed duck blinds on Saturday. We didn't do any fishing
Oh
on
wow.
Saturday. Yeah.
So what kind of game plan did you guys end up putting together? I mean, did you make the long run as everyone always does up there?
Well, so the tournament was out of Route 5. So,
Okay.
yeah, we didn't really have to make a long run.
Ooh.
Pretty close
That
to the fishing
helped.
grounds, which is a nice change of pace. That was the first event
Yeah.
I fished there that I didn't have to make a stupidly long run, burn a ton of gas, so that was really nice. But yeah, I mean, really the game plan was just kind of hunker down in one area and just make them bite. We knew they were there. They've been there all year, and eventually those fish are going to bite because being tidal fish, they're not always ready to feed. But when that timing gets right, you got a bite window. And if you can capitalize on that bite window, you can really get up on top quick.
So, Brody, I want to ask you. You spent a lot of time up there this past year. What that body of water and that location through there that you were fishing. When was the best time for you this year, or how did you learn the tides? Because a lot of people get thrown off by fishing tides. What knowledge did you gain into? Because you guys seen, I mean, he won 2. Is this his 3rd event there on the James this year? Maybe more.
Yeah, 2 BFLs and 1 TOC. So yeah, pretty good year on the James.
Brandon, we got to talk a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
So what did you learn how to breaking down the tides?
Yeah. So this is going to sound crazy, but I don't understand the tides. All right. And everyone's going to be like, what? What is it? What do you mean? My theory is that the tide is very unpredictable, and I know that I don't understand it. So I'm not going to go try to understand it. I'm going to go pick an area I know the big ones live and just lock down in it until they bite. Because if you say, oh, I'm going to run here at this tide and here at that tide and try this and this and that, you're going to get spun out most of the time unless you just happen to get it right. But if you really just sit down in that area, like I said, eventually those fish are going to bite while you're there at some point. It may not be great when it does, but they are going to bite at some point. And if you can just sit it out and wait and really have that trust and that faith in your area, you can really get right. And I mean, for Brandon and I, we hit our area all morning and we had 12, 13 pounds?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was bad. The tide was actually blowing against the wind, and it wasn't coming in. It was just kind of rising, and it made the water not really move. And that's one thing I do know about the tides is moving water is a good thing, So when that water wasn't moving, I'm like, okay, let's not get discouraged that they're not biting right now. Once that tide switches, and the water starts moving, they might bite. So we stuck it out up there, went back up, and as soon as the tide switch started to go out, got 2, a 4, a 5, and an 8, and I think there's maybe another 3 3/4, something like that. But we just stuck it out in that area. I mean, if we had tried to go up there and been like, oh, we're gonna hit this spot in the morning, and this spot, and this spot, we probably wouldn't have been in that right area at the right time. Whereas if you stay in an area, you're going to be at the right area at the right time eventually. If that makes sense.
So you knew the right fish were there.
Right. Yeah.
And
that's the hardest part, in practice. You got to determine, okay, there's good ones here without sticking too many fish. And that's skating a very fine line.
And you said the outgoing tide was where you caught most of the biggest portion of your largest bass.
Right. And in practice, the incoming tide was phenomenal, but once that wind picked up and pushed against that tide, it made it so it didn't flow in you see the water moving around the cypress trees, you see it coming in. It was just kind of, there was no water movement. It just kind of rose, which sounds kind of weird, but I mean, there was no moving water at all. It just kind of fell in.
That affects the way they set up on the cover, and it also affects their mood, I believe, a whole lot when when you don't have much current whatsoever.
Well, and also the bait fish and all like that aren't moving as much either. Because a lot of
Yeah.
you guys, I mean, even me, I mean, I fished the James River down here, and we did a bunch of kayak. We do a lot of kayak fishing,
That's so
and
fun.
you know, anywhere where there's a yeti or any moving brackish water at all, it don't care if it's your tidal water or not on a river. I mean, as long as there's moving water, you're gonna find bass. It might not be, you know, just for us down here, it's 2 pound bass. We're just having a good time and going out fishing. But I mean, you know, you're looking for that move. And did there have to be any grass or anything in that location as well?
Yeah, there was still some grass around. I was surprised that late in the year. I'd never actually fished it that late in the year, and so there was still a pretty good amount of hydrilla around. And you know, those fish always live in that grass year round. And you know, if you know like certain stretches, like I know there's a certain zone that there's just fish throughout this grass. You know, you can have that confidence to go, okay, we didn't get bit on it the first 2 times. Let's hit one more pass, you know, and that might be the difference maker.
Mm-hmm.
They like that grass for safety
Yeah, and ambush, you know, I
and
mean,
ambush.
they
Yes.
tuck down in that grass. I mean, you can't see them, you know. So bait fish come over the head, it's an easy target.
You know, I think that's another reason why it was so good too, is because you can't see those fish very easily. You know, the ones we were targeting. I believe that's another big advantage too, just having the confidence and, you know, in what we were doing, you know, to stay with that. Because, you know, you remember when we started, like there was what, probably 15 boats
Mm-hmm.
around us.
Yeah, and this is another, like just what I was talking about. We had at least 10 to 15 boats around us at the start of the tournament in our zone, you know, because I mean, it's, I don't want to say it's a community area, but it is. And by the time the tide got right and turned around while we were still there, everyone else gone.
Gone.
Because they didn't
wow.
have the confidence to stay put, and they
Mhm.
didn't have the knowledge that we had, knowing that those fish are going to fire at some point. And they freaked out, as most fishermen would. It's, you know, perfectly understandable to be like, oh, the fish aren't biting here, let's go somewhere else, you know.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
when we came back up there the second time after doing, you know, kind of a rotation, I mean, what do you think, Brandon? 1 to 3 boats at the most?
If that. I mean,
Yeah.
I know by the end of the day, like when we caught the 8 pounder, there was nobody there.
Nope, just us.
Nobody.
So it
Yeah.
was hero or zero, right?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
you know, being tournament of champions, championship, we're fishing to win, you know, and that's been my mentality the whole year on that place. Is, you know, I know where the big ones live, and either I'm gonna make them bite or I'm gonna go down swimming. And fortunately enough, this year they've been willing to bite at some point or another.
You said you were liking the outgoing tide. Was there a certain depth, the level that you're finding most of your fish?
Yeah, I mean the outgoing tide was great, but that incoming tide was good too in practice. It's just, you know,
Okay.
we messed that up. But I mean, as far as depth goes, we really kind of mixed it up into a little bit of everything. I mean, I think we caught one under a dock in what, 3 or 4 feet of water, something like that.
If that, it was shallow. He
Yeah,
was
it was
kind of way
shallow.
back.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Caught a couple, you know, slightly deeper as well. Caught some on a top water up in the grass and like no water, you know, because you think when the tide gets pushed against the wind, the high tide's
Hmm.
not going to come all the way up. So once that low tide started falling, I mean, it got low. Like, you know, stuff I've never seen out the water was out of the water. I think Jacob actually sent me a picture and showed me like there was one creek that normally you can get into and it was dry land because of how low the water got. But yeah, I mean when that water pulls out, it condenses all of your bait fish and all of your food that may have gone way up in the
Hmm.
pads or way up in the creeks, you know, to where those fish can eat. And I feel like about any type of fishery, your lower tide's typically going to be better, minus a few scenarios, maybe spawning. I know the cypress trees, it can be better on the higher tide. But yeah, for the most part for us, that lower tide, I mean, not even necessarily the water level, it's just the fact that it was moving. I mean, that was really the key player there.
Moving water. Do you want to talk about the area you were in, or I mean, like you said, everybody kind of has an idea, probably.
Yeah, I mean, we were in the upper half of the Chick, you know, up above, what's that ramp called? Up above Brickyard. that general area. Fish around Dyson some. I think we might have saw the dam. We got close to it. But yeah, I mean, just pretty much that whole zone. Just it's such a healthy area, and it just looks good. Good grass, clear water, good stuff like that. So we targeted that zone.
So what did you guys decide to do as your tactic? Were I mean, coming in, fishing a little bit when the shot got shallow, then go back out, fish deep, or we just, left the area alone, or did you said you fished a stretch of it. How much of a stretch were you actually concentrating on?
It's just different. No, I was just gonna. I mean, it's just different stretches. I mean, like that grass, the way that grass is there, you'll have a good grass line for I don't know. Some of them might be up to 100 yards, maybe,
Right.
and then some of them's got a little area that might only have that's really good, maybe like 20 yards, 25 yards. But it's those grass edges, I mean, they just hold them.
Oh yeah, and you'll see them. You can sometimes see them on scope just cruising up and down.
Yeah, if they come out, you can see them sometimes. Yes.
We know live scope doesn't. It plays a little bit of role there, but not a whole lot.
No, it
not
can,
a ton,
but not all the time.
That's what everybody thinks, and I just laugh. I let them keep thinking it's some big secret, but it's. I mean, you know how it is. I mean, you hear all about live scope, blah 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 blah, but you still got to find them. You still got to catch them. It ain't like we're going around picking off a single fish, like you can do in these lakes. I mean, you're power fishing cover. That's what you're doing. And when you get the right bites, you got to put them in the boat. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
What ended up being the right bite for you guys? What was the 1-2 punch?
The 8-pounder was a big one.
Yeah.
What was the 1-2 punch?
The 1-2 punch?
Yeah. What was it? What baits were we using? And kind of
top water and a glide bait.
Yeah.
The glide bait. I tell you, the best glide bait I found up there is the Spro Chad.
Okay.
It's just a good size. I think it's what they're eating.
Every once in a while you'll see some gizzard shad go by, and it's about that size. So I mean, it's a good one to have in your
It's a really good glide bait up there.
All right. Any other baits that we were using? Just the glide bait.
Top water as well. Yeah, some with the walking bait, some with like a Chapo style bait, and some buzz bait stuff as well. Just kind of trying to find the right sound that they wanted, and kept mixing it up, getting a bite here and there. Like I said, championship tournament, we're swinging for the fences, throwing stuff that big ones eat. I mean, that's just what it is at the end of the day.
Guys, they took home $6,000 on 40 boats. It's a heck of a payout.
Yeah, great payout. I was happy with it for the amount of boats we had.
They told me earlier, everyone, they requalified again for 2026, so they're going to have it again. So make sure you jump in an event and make sure your tournament director knows about this event. That way he can get you set up and ready to fish it in 2026. I know the guys are talking about love to have 50, 60, 70 boats in it next year.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, for contingency purposes, I mean, not just myself, but everyone who fishes a boat that has a contingency.
Yeah, because you missed the contingency by like 10 boats, didn't you?
20. Yeah, we need 60 in order to get my nitro contingency.
Each one of them has their own little package. I don't keep up with all the contingencies, but each one of them kind of has their own. How many boats has to be in each event if you be able to get an extra couple $1,000? And I know you missed it by a few boats, but hopefully next year you guys can all come out. Now, we talked about earlier the Elite 70s next year. Are they bumping up the amount of boats that they're going to have in the events in 2026? You told me, Brandon?
Yeah. The team series took, I want to say, like another 10 boats or something more, and the Alpha did the same. I think both of them are pushing close to 100 boat fields. I want to say they're about 90 something. whatever that number is they settled in on. And like I said, they had over 100 on the waiting list for each.
That's
It's
crazy.
a really good trail. Steve, the guy that runs it, super fella. I mean, he puts his all into it. He really cares about it and takes care of the anglers that fish and runs a really good show. He also runs. I'll tell you another tournament that they have at the river. It's called the River and Roads Tournament.
Yep.
That is a really cool event. I fished that this year. That one's pretty cool. You know, you fish the first day, and then I think they take a
Top 20.
percentage of the field to the second day. And I think it was 25 by the number of boats they had. And we made that second day, finished in the top 10, and that was a pretty cool event. They pull your boat up to the stage, and you step right off the boat onto the stage to where you fish. So I thought that was pretty neat. And then they have live bands and all kinds of stuff there. It's a big party, is what it is for the city of Hopewell. And
Yeah,
I just encourage a lot of people to support that and fish with them next year. It's a really neat event.
it's funny you bring that up. Trip did a post about 2 hours ago on social media, and the county wants to take recognition of it now because it's actually become a thing, and the county hasn't participated at all. And yeah, he was quite upset about this. And Trip, guys, this is no lie. This dude, he's a marketing guy. He knows how to fish a little bit, but he's like me. He ain't no damn good. He ain't like these two right here on stage. And you know, it's always when they see something get bigger and bigger and bigger, someone else wants to take, precedence. Like, look at what we did, and this guy does all of it.
Yeah, Steve actually will be running it all next year.
Oh,
So it should be a lot better. Um, so you'll probably see it from number of entries and stuff like that because he's got complete control of it next year. And another thing too, I wanted to talk about. You know, you mentioned briefly about English Choice coming back, and we talked about they have 8 tournaments. I really encourage everybody around here to come back out and support those tournament trails again. They pulled out for a year of their normal deal. They still held, those 3 big tournaments, which paid I think 10,000 per event. And they had a decent turnout, especially for Smith Mountain.
Nice.
But they're back in for the long haul on these tournaments. You guys come on out and support those as well. I would surely like to see the day of pulling up to Smith Mountain again and have 200 boats to compete against.
I
I
would
can
love to see
remember
that.
those days, and their entry fee is not bad at all in comparison to the Elite 70. I mean, the Elite 70, I think, is about 400 for the team series and about 500 for the individual. They got 100 boats on the waiting list for those. I mean, y'all can come out and support a $150 tournament entry, and
So I want to debate you that real quick, and I understand what you're saying there, but I think a lot of people come out and fish the Elite 70s, and the reason why they do is because your money is taken up front. Everybody, when you sign up for the Elite 70s, you pay everything up front. So if you're sick with
it's
a cold,
guaranteed.
right, correct. If you're sick with a cold and you can't fish that day, I'm sorry, you don't get your money back.
Yes.
And I think that's the reason why so many anglers are in line for that, because they know, like you're saying, close to 90, let's say 90 anglers. I don't know. This is just a number, but if it's 90 anglers pay their dues and their fees by January 31st, then the money is there. Whether you show up or not, the payout's going to be $9,000, 8,000, 7,000 each event, whether 10 boats show up or 100 boats show up. And I think that's the reason why so many people are willing to pay that price, because they know it's a guaranteed and money's there.
Yes.
And
I agree with that.
Yep.
And we're in an economic, I ain't gonna say recession at all, but we're in a really tough economic situation right now. and it really is tough on a lot of different people. Groceries are going up, gas has gone down. But if there's a guaranteed money and a guaranteed payout, a lot more people are gonna jump fast.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why
I mean,
people
I fished a BFL this year that ended up winning on the James River, and I didn't even have 60 boats in it, and did not get my contingency. I mean, like you said, with the Elite 70 having that guarantee, I can know going into that tournament that if I win, I'm getting my extra bonus money with that, which
Mm-hmm.
for me has kept me afloat this year. To be completely honest, I mean, expenses and
Yeah.
all. I mean, I've made quite a bit of money off of the contingency, and without that, it'd be real hard to keep
Hey,
getting my wins.
so like he said, the contingencies, I'm not gonna lie, there for us as well. I mean, yes, thank you, English Choice, for sponsoring the Basscast.com, Missile Baits, and Just Rig It for sponsoring us, and we really appreciate that. But if it wasn't for Facebook writing me a check, when you guys check out the reels and watch them 10,000 times or 50,000 times, the same as their contingency money, kind of helped keep us afloat as well. I mean, it really did. That side money that social media writes us a check and pays us. And we thank you guys for checking out all the videos and TikToks and all the other crazy stuff. But we're blessed to have enough followers for that. And it's the same, I got numbers, contingency has the numbers,
Yeah.
and there's a check written. So, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
and
what it's
another
all
point I'd
about.
like to make, I mean, just to everyone listening, support the guys that support us. Like you said, Angler's Choice Marine, they're helping me out next year. Missile Baits, I'm getting some help from them as well. I mean, go and support those guys that are supporting us anglers. I mean, there's a lot of big companies out there that aren't really helping out a whole lot, and those guys that are helping out all of our anglers locally and nationwide, and actually bringing the money back to the anglers. I mean, those are the guys we need to be getting stuff from and supporting.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so yeah, we like Brandon said, we love to see English Choice come back. Love to have you guys all, the 150, 200 boat fields like we had past. I remember going to an English Choice event. Weigh-in was at 3 o'clock, and we would leave at like 6. So I mean, love to have
Yeah.
everyone come on back out, check out the schedule. It's on their website. I think it's on their website. I know it's on Facebook. I don't know if they put it on their
Yeah, it
website.
is.
It's
Yeah,
on the
and
It is.
website
another
now.
good thing about them too, I mean, both they're having 8 tournaments on 4 different bodies of water, and it's Saturday, Sunday for both. So you can get a 2-for-1 kind of deal and fish 2 tournaments in a weekend, and it's only one weekend. Maybe had to take some vacation or some time off to practice. You get 1 practice and 2 events. I mean, that's
You
definitely
only
saving some
upset the
money.
wife one time.
There you go. Yeah.
You can knock them
Yeah, and I
out.
mean, I really like the way they do that because I mean, it's so easy. That's 2 points tournaments in
Yep.
one weekend,
Yep.
and I'm not stretching out 2 weeks at 2 different bodies of water. So it's pretty cool the way they do that. I really liked it because they were doing that before they quit it the last time. And that's one thing I really liked. And hey, one thing else that I heard, I need to verify this, and I mean, maybe you can pull it up and look at the rules, but I did hear from Trent that there is no off limits now. Because that is one thing I think that hurt them is them putting the off limits on to where you could only practice basically the day before the event.
Yeah. I could go into a whole tangent about off limits. I can't stand them.
Oh, I know, but hey, it's to each his
Rules are
own.
rules.
Yeah,
If you're gonna play, if you're gonna pay, you're gonna play. You're gonna play. You're gonna pay. I mean, it's
Mhm.
it's and everybody's got their that was something that we used to throw a fit about in the kayak tournament trails back when we were involved in that. Hobie had a set of rules. FLW, I mean, Bassmaster had a set of rules, and the KBF had a set of rules. And so, if you fished a kayak tournament trail, you had to remember what each set of rules were for each individual trail. So it's like, why can't we all just agree and have a tablet like the 10 Commandments? And these are the 10 rules, and everybody abides by the 10 rules, just like the 10 Commandments.
Yep.
I like it.
That sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me too.
I think you're onto something there, Brian.
I
Yeah.
know.
Hey, there you go. I think you know your next article.
There
The
you
10
go.
Commandments of bass fishing.
The 10 Commandments of bass fishing. Yes.
Yeah.
I wish everybody could get on the same page, but it doesn't happen like that. So, Guys, we're going to wrap this show up. Want to thank you guys both for coming on and talking with us tonight. Congratulations. Brody, dude. Brandon, a great year. Brody, I don't want to say taking up from Brandon, but dang, what a heck of a year you had. I mean, it was a stellar year. Every time I turn around, we were interviewing you. 2 on the James, 2 on Smith Mountain Lake, back to back. The boys said it kind of helped you a little bit having them 2 back to back, because if it had been separate, but everybody had the same playing field that you had, and to win both days back to back with different weather conditions, if I remember correctly, too, because it rained.
And I'll say this, I caught them 2 totally different ways. I mean, it's not like I just went back to the same spot and did the same thing. I mean, day 1, I caught all my fish in the afternoon, shallow as crap under docks on a mag draft and a Cinco. The next day, I was out in 60 feet, had them all in the first 45 minutes, pinging a minnow and doing some other stuff, like all out deep. So it definitely wasn't one of those things for me where it was like, oh, I'm just doing this one thing and it's just that good. Like, I was keeping an open mind, fishing shallow, fishing deep, and got a big bite both days that really just separated me from the crowd.
It's always a big bite, boys and girls. That's what it's all about. That kicker.
Yep.
Gotta have that kicker. Well, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas. You guys have any closing words for a roll out here? Anybody? Brandon?
Brody?
I'm good. I mean, just looking forward to next season, hoping to keep the momentum going.
All right, guys. Appreciate you listening. Guys, by the way, thank you. We'll be back next week with another great event. Again, I want to thank everyone for listening. I've got some other great announcements coming up for Basscast Radio here in the next couple of weeks, so we'll be making those announcements as well. And thank you guys for supporting us here and being a Patreon member as well. If you're not a Patreon member, we'd love to have you. It's, I think, $5.95 a month. You get Basscast Radio commercial free, and you get it on Sundays. You get it a day early as well. So I know everybody hates commercials, and even Netflix. His crap's done got so damn expensive. We had to just go back to commercials and just suck it up, because we're paying like $200 a month just for TV here, it seemed like. So we had to go back to commercials. But I know no one likes commercials. So if you hate commercials, you like Basscast Radio, then become a Patreon member. You get it Sunday, and you get it commercial free. So thank you guys for tuning in, checking out, and being a part of what we do right here at Basscast Radio. Have a great week, everyone, and we'll see you all right back here next week.
Take care, Brian.